Also, you can't make me laugh because my grill will fall out and I'll swallow it by accident and then I'll die.
Okay.
Don't be funny.
Hi, this is Once to Watch Chef's Choice. I'm Abby Kenna, and today I'm joined by Audrey Nuna. How you doing?
What's up? How are you?
I'm great. I'm very conscientious right now of my laughter because of your grill.
My grill that I might swallow by accident. Yeah.
It's like swallowing a loose tooth.
I wish I did that.
Why?
At one point. No, I don't know. I just feel like it's a kind of a soft flex.
Yeah.
Like if you swallow your own tooth, like does that
I think
make you stronger?
Yeah. Yeah, like you swallowed your own bones kind of.
Yeah, like calcium.
Yeah. I wonder, like, can you digest a bone?
I think so.
Yeah, I'll look into it.
I definitely think you can digest. I feel like stomach acids are crazy.
Stomach acid is crazy.
Yeah.
I was going to get into some gross stuff about, I'm just not going to, I think I'm going to move past the stomach acid.
I love talking about stomach acid, so that's fine.
I'm known to talk about stomach acid. The look, though, is crazy.
Thank
I love
you.
this. When did you start wearing the horns and the teeth?
The horns have been probably, I'm trying to think, probably since like October, November-ish time frame. It kind of just started as like a fun thing, and then
I was going to ask.
Yeah, and then my friend / someone who I work a lot with on creative, Kufu, he was like, this is sick. This is totally an album character. And I was like, yeah, you're right.
Are you working towards an album?
I am.
Well,
I have an
exciting.
album coming out somewhat soon in the future. It's crazy because I feel like I've been finishing this album for like 2.5 years.
Whoa.
So it's like, it's finally like, wow.
That's actually a long time.
Yeah. I feel very emotionally constipated. Like I feel like, I need to let it out.
So have all the singles that you've been releasing, are those all going to be on the album, or are they just like things that you're putting out before this rollout starts?
Some of them are going to be on the project. Some of them aren't. But yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, that's a crazy thing to do though. Like getting yourself in the mindset to release a project, but you have to be in the emotional space of these other things that you're releasing.
Mm-hmm.
That's like such a competing headspace.
It's kind of a mind fuck. I feel like I'm graduating, like it feels like high school graduation. I was gonna say college graduation, but I never graduated from college. But
nice.
It feels like high school graduation. Like I feel like I'm closing a chapter in my life actually. And you know, this is only my second project, so it's the first time really feeling like, wow. Because the first project was, I had my whole life, you know, to make that project basically.
Right.
But this one is just like, I went out with like an intention and it's finally come to life. And that's really weird.
Yeah, really weird, but also huge payoff when it finally happens.
Yeah, I think so. Even just for myself to even understand what I went through or how I was feeling for the past 2.5 years is like very nice.
It's also a very different thing to like put out a project and like the first time no one's expecting anything from you because they have literally heard nothing. And now it's like you have to listen to all of these other opinions and stuff and work through that and like intentionally putting out and writing a project. I don't know. I feel like that's a very different emotional landscape to navigate.
Wait, do you make music? I'm so curious.
I do.
Okay,
yeah.
I can tell
Sorry.
you know. I can tell you know is good because like, yeah, I think that you can sometimes take for granted the freedom that is so natural in the first process of making a project.
Yeah. Because
you really are just doing it with there's no idea of like what you want to get out of it.
Yeah.
And I feel like this project, the second project for me was like a constant attempt to like reach that state again and be in that state as much as I possibly could.
Right.
And practice, it's like a skill. It becomes a skill you need to practice, I think, when your team gets bigger, when honestly, like you do have people who listen to your shit, and there is, whether you succumb to it or not, which I would say for the most part, I don't feel like I can be rushed, to be honest, because I just like, I'm a perfectionist and I want shit to be the way it is and I'm fucking stubborn.
Good.
But I feel like no matter what, there is going to be that layer of noise that you need to learn how to like kind of just turn off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially like, once again, the first project is like making a hobby like into your business, into your like, I don't know, the passion become like it takes fruition, but now you are a business and you have all these people to respond to. I don't know. It's just like, it's such a different pressure, but I'm really excited.
No, I think that's real. And I think that should be talked about more because, doing this project made me realize that, oh, this shit really is, for most people, it is a business and it's looked at as a business. And, you know, for the ones and for the people who really see it as more of like a life mission and a craft, that balance of trying to figure out, okay, how can I like be my purest self, but still, you know, if I choose to coexist in that space of like trying to expand, right? So it's like really weird. Art versus commerce is always such a weird thing to navigate as a sensitive person.
Yeah,
it is.
that's a really good way to put it.
Yeah.
Art versus comments.
Yeah.
Commerce.
Yeah.
Comments.
Comments. Fucking haters in my comments.
Well, when did you start like making music in your life?
Honestly, reverb.
Nice.
Honestly, I started singing really young, and then I would say I started like writing little cute songs probably when I was like 10ish in GarageBand just for fun.
What were they about?
They were like about my existential crisis as a 10-year-old.
No way.
For real.
That's great.
Yeah, no, they were really deep and sad. But then I just started like, I would say I really started making the music that I wanted to make and felt proud of probably in high school when I met my producer, Anwar.
Oh, wow. You met each other in high school.
Yeah. Well, he was
That's
in high
super
school. He was
early.
a mid-30s man
Awesome.
who slid into my DMs. No, I'm just kidding. But actually at the time, it wasn't as like normal to slide into DMs and like, let's work. So he hit me and I was like, 17, 18 at the time. So I was like, this is weird. But
Hell
he
yeah.
ended up being, but I pulled up. I brought my mom with me and just in case.
Yeah.
And he turned out to be like the nicest guy ever with like 2 kids, a wife. Like he's the best. I'm so grateful.
That is so cool. How did he find you?
I think I was just doing a lot of like covers on Instagram and just putting myself out there. And I think I was just, I plugged my shit on some, like, those singing pages that Instagram used to have where it was just a bunch of vocalists.
Yep.
I was on one of those and I think he found me. I think it was called The Good Voice.
I
And I think he
remember
found me
the
on
one.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
He found me on that and then he just hit me up.
That is so interesting because like our options for promoting ourselves were so different like 6 years ago.
I mean, the music industry is just like, I feel like you can probably relate to this, but this is probably the first real like landscape shift that I've experienced in music, like with the whole TikTok shit with the,
Yes.
and I have a feeling that obviously this happens people tell me it happens every like 7 years, whether it's like there was Spotify and that changed everything. And I think that this one feels different though. I think this one feels more like big. I don't know. It feels more humanity change shift than it does just like music industry platform shift,
It feels like anxiety inducing a little bit because I don't think we've like invested so much in other social media platforms the way we have in TikTok because it really is like life changing to like have something blow up there. Your career can take off in a month. But with Instagram, it was like kind of a slow and steady thing. Like you get one video on a covers page or I don't know, someone finds your song. But this is like, it's huge if TikTok goes away.
You're talking about the band thing?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, even if it stays, that's also huge because it is like actively deteriorating the music industry.
Yeah. That's so interesting, right? It's kind of double-edged. I feel like we've pushed the snowball off the mountain though, and I don't think there's any such thing as reeling it back, to be honest. Like whether it's TikTok or any other platform, Instagram or whatever the next shit is, it's like we have no choice but to watch evolution. I feel like, you know, it's gonna happen.
Whoa.
It's happening now. We have no control over it, and I think that any semblance of control that I thought that we as individuals have is like, that's not real.
Yeah. Wait, how old are you? Sorry.
I'm 25. I just turned 25.
Okay. I'm 22.
Ew.
25 is a great age. Once again, I mentioned this earlier, but frontal
Sorry,
lobe developing.
Yes. How old did you say you were? You're also
I'm
25?
22.
Oh, you're 20. You're so young.
I'm a child.
That's fun. That's a good age.
Thank you. But I feel like I'm becoming conscious. And like you're saying, like this is the first landscape shift you're noticing. I feel like this is, for me, the first time that I'm like actively getting to see like evolution, because I'm not in high school anymore, and I can like, I don't know, have my own opinions about like social media and the way it's affecting shit. So
yeah, I feel like 22 was like the beginning of that for me, and like now 25, it does feel like some type of like next level of the frontal lobe shit. I think is real.
Fuck.
Yeah, it's
scared.
real. It was weird. It felt like it was overnight. Like I literally woke up on April 3rd, because my birthday is April 2nd.
Oh my
God.
God.
I woke up feeling different, and that never happens to me after a birthday.
Huh. I like don't want that actually. Like I want the growing up, but I'm afraid of what I'm gonna realize.
That's real.
Yeah.
You should be. Shit is scary. I mean, I'm acting like I'm 50 years older than you, but
You're so wise.
But yeah, I'm a grandma, honestly. But I don't know. I just feel like life is fucking scary.
Yeah.
But it's beautiful.
It is beautiful. I mean, the scary part is the beauty, and the beauty is also in the fear of it all.
Yeah.
I can see why you at 10 years old was writing about existential crises.
Exactly. Yeah, I've been on this ship. Honestly, I'm just like constantly in a state of like, how is any of this real?
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
It's a blessing and a curse.
Totally.
Well, thank you for coming on our taste making
podcast. Yeah, of course. This is not an existential crisis podcast.
I know. We stepped right into introspection.
Honestly, your thing is stomach acid. My thing is like anyone I meet within like 10 minutes will be getting existential about random shit.
I love to psychoanalyze people, actually. That might be my real thing.
Okay, word.
I like trying to figure out.
It's okay if the stomach acid is the real thing and that's just the side. It's fine.
I like trying to figure out in my head if people are youngest, middle, or oldest siblings without asking them, like in the course of one conversation.
Do you feel like you know based on
you? I feel like you're probably an only child.
Oh my God.
Are you?
No, I'm a middle child.
Fuck, okay.
Wait, what gives you the only child? I need to know.
I feel like you like have a good sense of childlike wonder, but also like the analytic mind, where you probably played both like younger and older sibling for yourself.
Yeah. I didn't really have a lot of friends growing up. If that's what you're saying, that's true.
That's not what I was saying.
No, that's true though. I did play a lot by myself growing up, I think. Except I have an older sister who we were super close.
It sounds like I just like read the shit out of you, but I didn't mean to.
No, it's just the only child thing it's funny.
That is interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to ask you about your music at some point.
Maybe
I'm a youngest sibling.
Oh, okay, cool. Nice.
Youngest child, eldest daughter.
Youngest child. Oh, nice.
So I have an older brother.
So only daughter.
Only daughter.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Fun.
It makes sense if you meet my brother.
Okay, word.
Because he's like the most sensitive boy you've ever met in your life.
Yeah, I feel like bros with sisters are always great. Sensitive and great.
Yeah. Anyways. Well, I would love to know, if listeners had never heard your music before, what's the first song you would tell them to listen to? What should they start with?
Honestly, I would say, Typical, just because it's the first song on the last project.
When it's time, it'll Bali, then a party, pass that back, cause I gotta eat. When it's time, never seen a face like mine in the cockpit, never seen a body so tall, but I'm like it. R.I.P. to your blonde lady in a all white tee, yes, also typical.
It's very raw and kind of an unfiltered view of like just how I hear music.
Like sonically or like lyrically?
Just all of it, just like delivery. I feel like there's a freedom to that song that I really am proud of, and yeah, just kind of like a cool personality starter.
Yeah. There is such a clear personality in your music, so I'm glad that you went with that.
Thanks.
Like the vocal delivery is not something I hear often.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's very particular. The like sort of merge between like R&B, rap, pop. It like touches in a million things at once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's just like my ADHD basically. But
Listen,
yes. Thank you.
Off. Yeah.
Thanks.
Of course. How did Typical come about? What was the writing process like for that?
Damn, it was so long ago. It was just I was in New York at the time, and I think Omar just like played a random loop, and then a lot of the times he'll just start making something, and then I'll just kind of write over it, and it'll just somehow come together.
Like you kind of just like coexist.
Exactly. We just kind of chill. We call it like the sit around method, where you just sit around and something happens.
Really?
Yeah. I feel like the less you try, sometimes things will naturally fall into place. But there needs to be an intention, there needs to be an energy, there needs to be a camaraderie and a trust built, I think, for that.
Right. To be able to like sit in silence, and when you have that idea, you can like spit it out and not feel like you have to censor yourself.
Exactly. And just feeling like really comfortable, like so comfortable where you can just, I don't know, take a shit on the floor or something and it's fine. Like that has to be, for me, I always want every creative session, whatever it is, to feel like that, to just feel like you can try anything and it's not a waste of time, you know?
Yeah. I feel like people are often trying to achieve that, but maybe trying a little bit too hard, like skipping the trust step. Because like you can walk into sessions, and I feel like for me, it's always like, okay, we're going to do therapy now for 2 hours and try to learn everything about each other.
Like someone you just met?
Yeah. Like someone you just met. And then I'm like telling them my childhood trauma, because we're trying to like build trust, but also find a concept. And then it just skips all of that like slow building. Yeah. So that's interesting, because you've been working with him since the start of your career.
Yeah. That man is like my family, and I do think that makes a big difference. Like, I don't know. I think there's some people who can just kind of like make crazy shit, and it can just be, that's their relationship, is just that. And I respect that. I personally am just someone who, like, I want to know who you are as a human. And I think from there is when we'll probably make something crazy.
Yeah.
You know? So
that
yeah, a lot
logistically makes sense.
For sure. And I think that's why when I moved to LA as well, I kind of had a moment of like vertigo and confusion, because I was just like, oh, so this is not how people do things here. Like, obviously there's pockets and you need to find your pocket, but so much of LA sessioning life is like, hey, nice to meet you, like, blah, 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 and never speak again.
Yeah.
And to me, that's just not, personally, that's just not what music is for me. It always was for me like a place where I found a sense of belonging, and a place where it was just like going on a play date with a friend and playing video games and talking about shit. That is like, for me, the lifestyle of music that I really prefer, more than, hey, nice to meet you, and yeah,
nice to meet you, let's make the song of the summer.
I have like a dentist appointment at 5. I need to go, but yeah, nice to meet you. I don't know. It's just not really my thing.
No, 100%.
Yeah.
We were talking earlier, we had King Isis on, if you know them. They're
No, I actually
amazing.
don't know them. That's cool.
And they were on the recent Pigeons and Planes, See You Next Year Too, like compilation album.
Okay, dope.
And it's this writing camp. And I feel like writing camps are often like that sort of competition, like scary thing, where it's like, we have to make a hit, or this was like a waste of time. And to look at like a music creation process as a waste of time is such like a tragic part of like session culture.
Yeah.
I feel.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know. I think for me also, it is really practical, because I don't make good shit when I feel like I need to make good shit. I make good shit when I'm just laying on the floor and like being honest, you know?
Yeah.
And I do also, though, want to practice more of the skill set of being able to like do that more, but just trying to figure out a way for it to feel very organic and real to myself, you know?
Yeah, like it's still coming from a creative place, not just like this is my job and I need to get it done.
Yeah.
Place.
Yeah, that I could never, honestly, it's so hard for me. I suck in sessions. I'm bad. I'm bad. I'm really bad.
Honestly, it sounds better that way than to be like a machine. I would rather you keep the wonder.
Yeah. My only child. The only child in me.
Child wonder.
Yeah. No, music is interesting.
It is.
And this is really just another conversation of art commerce, you know, like for real.
Yeah.
And it's just like it's like a constant theme.
It's a battle.
Yeah.
Well, you're working towards your album now.
Yeah.
And I would love to know what song sort of represents this era that you're building up to.
There's a lot of songs that aren't out yet that kind of, I would say, really feel... There's one song called Baby OG that is going to come out soon.
Okay.
And I feel like that one really encapsulates the project. Out of the things that's out already, probably Joke's on Me. I would say it's like this ballad, but really tapping into this idea of like rage and B, which is like R&B sentiments with kind of like rage type elements.
Okay, I haven't heard that before.
Yeah,
that's
it's
cool.
coming out actually on Friday, but
nice.
But yeah, be happy for you to play on this. It's chill either way. But I would say that one, yeah.
Would you say like sonically is what mainly like hints it towards the album, or is it also sort of just like perspective wise?
Sonically, but also I think definitely the overall energy of it, because this project is very much kind of slightly darker than the last one, sonically, conceptually, all of it, and it's kind of a really good picture of like the nostalgic feeling that kind of, and almost a little bit of bitterness too, that kind of inspired the project weirdly.
Okay.
So I feel like it's really on the wavelength of what the project feels like.
That's exciting.
It is. I'm excited.
And you said you've been working on it for like 2.5 years.
Yeah, I've been working on this project for a long ass time. Long ass time.
So
long ass time. It was
I'm curious what you were listening to like throughout the creation of it, but that's also like a really long time. Because I feel like people kind of have these like sonic influences when they're like making albums in like the span of a couple months. Mm-hmm. But do you have any like references of artists that you were inspired by for it?
I would say there's a really fire, just as of late and as of recent in my memory, I would say there's a really sick duo called Decky Alem, who discovering their music was really just fresh. Their shit is fresh, and that energy was great to kind of ingest. I think going to see Hudmo. Yeah, working with and also seeing Hudmo live was really inspiring. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I mean, there's a lot. Like you said, it was a long period of time.
Yeah. But
seeing even like The Boy and the Heron, the new Miyazaki film.
Dude.
Yeah, like
that was so good.
Yeah, all of it. These are all things that really pushed the project to kind of get finished, I would say, finally.
Wow, wait. I'm like very curious how that ties into it, because that movie fucked me up a little bit.
That movie was crazy.
Yeah. I'm a big Miyazaki fan. I've seen like almost all of them at this point, and that was the first one I'd seen like for the first time in theaters.
Crazy, right?
Yeah.
The opening sequence was fucking crazy.
Yeah.
With the fire and like the faces morphing, and I was just like, damn, this man is like what, 60, 70 years old, just constantly upping his craft.
He's like 90.
He wasn't even gonna make this movie. He wants to be like done, but he can't stop.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, exactly.
His brain just has too many good ideas.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that's really what is inspiring.
He's 84.
He's 84.
That's wild. My brain doesn't function that well at this age.
Right?
That's hard.
Damn.
Yeah, I think just the idea of like constantly working on your craft, A, but then B, I'm always inspired by his protagonists. Like they're always these kids who just have so much courage randomly.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's cool because in his worlds, like the kids are the heroes and the adults are kind of like these foolish side characters.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that like anti-hero or that like unexpected hero figure has always been inspiring to me about his films. So yeah, seeing that in its newest iteration was like, okay, that's like the energy that I want to be on. It's cool.
That is really cool. Yeah. I've never really considered it like that, but now I'm thinking of like Spirited Away and how like the parents are just pigs off to the side.
Yeah. And wasn't that sick to see as a kid, whether you realize it or not, like that, I don't know, you can be a courageous, like, you can be a grounded figure. You can do things, you know what I'm saying? Like you can take risks. I feel like that was really cool for me to see growing up.
Yeah. I remember Ponyo was like one of the first movies I like actively remember like latching onto as a kid and like just doing anything to save your friend.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.
And that bowl of ramen, like,
Oh my God,
brain.
all the food in his movies, like I swear to God, I actually get mad when I see the scene of Chihiro's parents eating the food and turning into pigs because I'm like, bruh, I want to do that.
Yeah.
I want to eat that food
feast.
and turn into a pig. Like the whole process seems so cathartic.
Yeah, I'm good.
It was crazy. Like that food looks so crazy.
Shit. Wow. I love hearing when people are inspired by film too, and like just external forces other than music leading to like a creative process.
Yeah.
I feel like you read a lot. Do you read?
I should read more. I have spurts, but honestly, I really would like to read more.
Okay.
The last thing I read, I'm trying to think. Oh, I started reading this. Oh, the last thing I read was A Wild Sheep Chase by Murakami.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know it.
Yeah, it's like surreal, really surreal, weird shit. Yeah, but
Sounds cool.
existential as fuck, for sure.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I like his writing a lot. He reminds me of a rapper sometimes.
Like it's like kind of prose like.
It is prosy, but it's also just like very stream of conscious, and he low-key just drops bars sometimes.
I love that.
Yeah, randomly.
That's definitely good for you.
Yeah. What about you? Are you reading something right now?
I am
That you're into?
I love when the interview gets turned around at me and then I forget everything.
Honestly, I never know if interviewers want that because I love learning about people, but then sometimes I also don't want to put people on the spot like, what about you? You know what I'm saying?
Well, like I put you on the spot for 45 minutes and you ask me one question and I'm like, oh.
Let's go.
Yes, I am reading a book right now. It's called Paul Takes the Form of a Mortal Girl.
Oh, okay.
It's awesome. That
sounds hard.
It is. It's this guy. His name is Paul. Crazy concept.
Crazy.
And he's a shapeshifter. And
Okay,
he
cool.
can like change his body based on how he feels. So I am interpreting it as like a metaphor for how it feels to be gender fluid and like exploring a new like realization of a transgender identity.
What's
and, like,
it called again?
Paul Takes the Form of a Mortal Girl.
Nice.
And like I'm queer and like I feel like most queer people have like a little bit of a gender crisis like in the background of their heads.
Yeah.
And this has been a really cool way to hear it described because it's like it's kind of sci-fi in the way that he can.
What is it in taking place in a certain like time frame or is
yes, that's the really cool part of it. It's in the 90s.
Oh, cool.
And a lot of it's based on like Riot Girl music too. Like he's always
That's
making
sick.
people mixtapes and like he'll be like, today I want to be like so and so or like Patti Smith or
that sounds like something that will be made into a movie.
I hope so.
Yeah, or a series or something.
Yeah, it would be really cool to just like see how they soundtrack it too.
Yeah. No,
but
that's gonna be hard. I gotta peep
it's cool.
that.
I've got a copy. I'll send it your way.
Honestly, for sure, I need to get back into reading.
Yeah, it's like I feel like my brain is waking up every time I get back.
Reading
into my,
is
reading.
so great in that way. It just feels like meditation.
Yeah. It's been good. I feel like smart again. I used to be so smart when I was younger.
I love that for you.
My brain went away. But I have one last music question for you. And I want to know which track of yours is one that you'd like to maybe highlight, maybe a B-side that you feel like has been kind of slept on.
I think Get Love is easily that song for me.
'Cause I don't get no love, so 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 I don't get no love. Get love, love.
I love that song. That's like one of my favorite songs that I've made. And yeah, it's slept on. So go check that shit out.
Okay. Will do.
Yeah.
I have a couple closing questions.
Cool.
I would love to know if your music was a candle, what scent would it be?
Ass. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, sure, it can be.
Yeah, smelly ass.
Medium Build said he wanted his candle to smell like cigarettes and dick.
Oh,
so,
that goes.
So
The combination?
cigarettes and dick.
I'm trying to imagine what that would. Okay. It's a very masculine candle.
Yeah, boy. Very boy.
Very boy.
But yours has to be ass and something.
Ass and brown sugar.
Ooh. Yeah. I'm in.
Okay, you're in.
Yeah. Like a
me-
musky, like sweaty baking day.
Yeah, there you go.
Making cookies naked.
Honestly, this is a really good idea. Like all these candles.
You should make it.
No, you should make it. This
Oh,
is your thing.
I'll
I
make
feel
it.
like you gotta. I feel like you would kill that shit.
My ass and brown
Ass
sugar.
and brown sugar and dick and cigarettes. Honestly, I would buy some of these.
It's
candles.
grimy.
I would buy both of them.
Yeah, I would too. I'm in.
That goes.
That goes. I
That
love that
goes.
phrase. I'm gonna use it.
That goes.
I would also love to know what your favorite sound is right now that's not music.
I really love the sound of keyboards, like typing.
A typing?
Yeah,
or like,
typing.
Okay.
Like custom gaming keyboards.
I was gonna
typing, clickety clack,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. Also love the sound of I don't know why I wanted to say another one, but I feel like I have a lot of weird, like I like the sound of garlic frying on a fry pan.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's a really good smell too. Like oil and onions in a frying pan.
Yeah, maybe like garlic and vagina. Now we have to do the third one. I feel like we did ass, we did dicks. Come on, like there has to the trifecta.
There needs to be a vagina candle.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what's the pairing? Garlic?
Garlic?
and vagina? That's not okay.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I feel like we'll get canceled.
Yeah. Anti-feminist.
We'll get canceled.
I'll think of a good vagina candle. There's
yeah,
gotta
this
be
is
a good.
this is a crazy candle
like
series.
white wine maybe and vagina.
I actually think that goes really well with the dick and cigarettes.
Okay, white wine.
Yeah. Yeah. And then the ass and brown sugar. Yeah.
And then
This goes.
I'm in. Okay.
Word.
My very final question for you is I would love to know who your ones to watch are.
I would say Decky LM for sure.
Yeah.
Lane Wire, hard. Trini Vive, this like artist producer who does a lot of stuff for this rapper Leisha G, also very fire. Yeah, I think that's a good enough
Great.
amount of sauce to give out.
Of
I'd say.
sauce?
Yeah.
Gatekeep the rest of
I'm
it.
a gatekeep. No, I'm kidding. But I'll spoon feed, next
Yeah.
time.
Got to do our homework first, and then we'll get more.
Exactly.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm glad your teeth didn't fall out.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't swallow my own teeth.
My own teeth that I grew.
I
with
wish.
these gemstones on them.
Honestly, though, I do wish. That would be crazy.
That would be a good superpower to have.
Yeah.
Well, once again, this is Ones to Watch, Chef's Choice. I'm Abby, joined by Audrey Nuna. Check her out.
Thanks.
Okay.